Cassie. Welcome back to my channel. So just to give you guys a little bit of information before you start this video, there are 3 main body types that people have. Number 1 is the ectomorph body type. Ectomorphs are the people that struggle to gain weight and are usually pretty tall and pretty thin. The second is the mesomorph body type, and mesomorphs are the people with average body frame, so they're not underweight and they're not overweight. And lastly, the endomorphs might have a higher percentage of body fat. Out of these 3 body types, the endomorphs are the ones to usually gain weight most easily. And just a quick disclaimer, not every body type is the same. These 3 body types are not the only body types out there. These 3 body types, however, act as guidelines just to give an idea of what most people's body types are like. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys what I eat in a day as an ectomorph body type. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so I filmed this video on a Sunday, and in the mornings, I don't eat until after I've showered and gotten ready and everything, because usually if I eat first, I feel sick. So yeah, I usually wait about half an hour after I wake up to eat something. In this particular video, I made some coffee, but usually I don't actually drink coffee at home. So this cup is actually for my mom. And obviously, before I started cooking, I washed my hands because that is the number 1 thing you do before you start cooking. The next thing that I made were some healthy, old-fashioned banana pancakes. And sorry, again, this is clickbait because these are also for my mom, but hey, why not add it in here? And then, of course, we need to add in the bananas if we're making banana pancakes. Then we gotta mix it. Then we gotta put them in the pan, wait for the bubbles, and then flip. Then it was time to make my breakfast. So in these next few clips, you can see me attempting to make a smoothie bowl, and unfortunately, I didn't get the thickness that I wanted, but it was still really, really good. So in here, I added a bit of vanilla yogurt for the smooth texture, about half a cup of orange juice, half a cup of water, a cup of mixed frozen fruit. You can add fresh fruit if you want to, but I just prefer frozen because it makes it colder. A few ice cubes. And I just like to add a tablespoon of protein powder into my smoothies just so I can get some extra protein in there. And the reason that I add protein powder into my smoothies is just so I can get a little bit more protein, and protein helps you gain muscle. So for me, that is one of my goals as an ectomorph. So if you're looking to gain more muscle, I would highly recommend getting some protein powder. Alright, so that's the main part of the smoothie bowl. Now I'm just going to chop up some banana slices, And then I'm just going to place them in there. Then I'm going to take some granola and I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. So on this particular Sunday, I decided to cook up some chili, and I will link the recipe that I used down below in the description box. And yeah, honestly, it is really easy to make, and honestly, it is so good. And chili is a great meal if you're looking to build muscle because, as you know, beans are legumes and beans have a bunch of protein and vitamins in them. Chili is a really healthy meal. In this chili, I'm going to be adding in some onion, some green pepper, and some red pepper, and I'm just going to wash these peppers off real quick. Then I'll dice them up. The next step is to pour a little bit of olive oil into a pan and let the olive oil simmer on medium to high heat for a few minutes. Next step is add the vegetables to the pan. And just like that, we're going to saute these vegetables just so that they have some extra flavor. Now that the vegetables are all cooked, we're going to put them in the pot. Next step is lean ground beef, so I'm just going to wash my hands again. And for this recipe, I used 1 pack of lean ground beef, so about 1 pound of meat. And while the meat is cooking, I'm going to start on the beans. So here I'm using some ordinary red chili beans from President's Choice, and I'm just going to put them in this wooden bowl because I actually don't have a colander, so what I do is like I put stuff in a bowl like this and then I take like a lid and then I have to like put water in it and then like drain it. So never mind that, but anyway, for these beans, I just have to rinse them off and then pick out the bad ones and make sure they're all good and fresh. Just gonna stir the meat real quick. Then I'm gonna add the beans. Now that the beef's been browning for a good 10 minutes, I'm going to pour out the excess grease. When the beef's all cooked, I'll add it to the pot. Next, we're gonna add our canned ingredients. So first up, we have some no-name beef broth. Second up is our diced tomatoes with no salt added. And the last thing is our can of crushed tomatoes with no salt. Next step is spices. So I'm going to use a packet of Old El Paso mild taco seasoning, obviously some chili powder. This next one's kind of random, but I added a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but yeah, that sauce. A little shake of paprika. Some red cayenne pepper. Some regular pepper. A little dash of cinnamon. And last but not least, some dried chili flakes. Now it's time to add some water into the mix, and I'm just going to add 4 cups of warm water. Last step before we start cooking, we gotta mix it all together. Alright, so now we just have to set the crock pot on high for 2 hours and then come back. Alright, let's see how our chili's doing. So here's the cooking chili, and honestly, it looks so good and it smelled really good too. And yeah, so we're just going to pop the lid back on, and now we have to adjust the temperature. So we're going to put it on the lower level, and then now we have to wait for 5 hours. So after a couple hours goes by, I usually have a little bedtime snack before I wind down and get ready for bed. So in this clip, I just have some no-name raisin English muffins. I'm just going to take one of these raisin muffins and I'm just going to pop it in the toaster for a minute. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully this video gave you some ideas of what you can make at home. All of the recipes are in the description box. If you use them, I would love to hear how they turned out. Feel free to leave a comment down below, or you can even DM me on my Instagram account. Hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to go down below and click that like button, and also subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye!